Welcome to Clickstop, brought to you by Lucky Dice Cafe out of Huntsville, Alabama. Check them out at luckydicecafé.com. And now for your hosts, Daniel Powell, Jason Alvey, and Tyler Speeds.
Hey everybody, welcome to Clickstop today. This is your host Daniel Powell speaking. Just want to let everyone know Clickstop is brought to you by TrollandToad.com. Find Heroclix new and old at TrollandToad.com, the world's largest Heroclix retailer. Save 5% on your order of Heroclix when you use coupon code Clickstop at checkout. Merchant and pre-order items do not apply. Shop TrollandToad.com for all of your Heroclix needs. And if you like what you're hearing today on Clickstop, check us out at patreon.com/Clickstop. We really appreciate any support. It helps keep the podcast going. And then check us out at facebook.com/Clickstop, where we're having our giveaway this month, which is a brick of Captain America and the Avengers, including a Chase Thor. You can enter the contest one of three ways: $1 and above on our Patreon, become a new YouTube subscriber on our Clickstop YouTube channel, and the third way is to just leave a comment on the post per the guidelines. I think we're doing favorite Click-style villain this month, so check that out. So $1 and above on Patreon gets you entered into our giveaways. $5 and above gets you entered into our Discord server and exclusive Heroclix classes. Without further ado, my co-host tonight is not Jason, but it is Tyler, Play Immortal Hulk Spees.
We'll see.
And for the first time in a while, we do have a special guest tonight. It is Scott Company Cramton.
Hey!
Have you actually?
Was that close enough, Scott? Was that like?
That's pretty good. I like that. I like that a lot. I was disappointed though. You said it's not Jason as a co-host, so it's been fun. But I was here only for Jason, unfortunately.
Yeah, Jason had daddy-daughter dance tonight, and so
it's fine. He made the wrong choice, clearly.
Clearly. So tonight we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk with Scott a little bit, and then we're going to talk about some winning WKOs, what you should, or what we think you should be expecting for states in April, which I guess is next month. By the time this comes out, it's February 28th tonight. So, but I guess there is a leap year,
Extra
right?
day.
So,
yeah, one more.
So this might come out in February. So Scott, let's just talk with you a few minutes. You've never been in the show, but
I've never been in the show, and you've done like 2,000 episodes. And I've never been here once.
I think it'll be episode 125 or 126.
Jesus.
That is impressive.
I've been here for like 4 of them.
I've been doing Critical Clicks, I think, like at least a year longer, and you have like at least 35, 40 more episodes.
We started in 2016. May of 2016 is when I started.
Maybe not. I don't remember. And that's honestly tough. I have no idea when I started that stupid thing with Kevin.
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin. I forgot about Kevin.
Oh, my God. Not for nothing, but Kevin was literally the perfect odd dude to have on a podcast ever. Like, I don't know if you guys ever heard the episode where he told the story of like how he was secretly dating like a cast member from a major show, but she didn't want to tell anybody. He just had endless things like that, and it was like perfect. It was so perfect.
Yeah, the last time I talked to Kevin, he was on his way to becoming a CEO somewhere.
Ooh.
That's fair, yeah.
That's cool.
Like he's just that smart.
I wouldn't be shocked if Kevin is either actually at this moment right now completely homeless or a multimillionaire. And I hung out with him for 2 years, and I have no idea which one is more true.
Could go either way.
Literally no idea.
So Scott, you recently got into the Heroclix Hall of Fame as deemed by The Rock.
Yes, shockingly, I did get into the Heroclix Hall of Fame, possibly on longevity. I don't know. I asked somebody, like everybody else, I think got in with a more obvious scenario. We can't reveal the other two yet, but and I think that I kind of asked like, which way did I get in? Because, if you talk about like a decade and a half ago, I was definitely getting in for play, and now I might be getting in for wacky. I don't know.
A podcast show that helps a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Helping
they said
the community.
Maybe part of it would be your media presence as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say you're probably the most, I don't know but most prolific in the media Heroclix player, other than besides Scott. Well, yeah, I mean that I'm talking about within the realm of players that play at big events and such.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm definitely the loudest and probably the most obnoxious. I would agree with that. And one of the oldest players at this point in time, like one of the people that's been playing the longest. But yeah, I mean, it was honestly absolutely amazing. Being in the Heroclix Hall of Fame, I had two major things. One, I was unbelievably touched, and I was like, oh my God. And I realized how much I don't care that it wasn't a thing just a minute ago. It would be like, I'm like, hey, Tyler, congratulations. You're in Scott Cramton's all-time greatest dudes Hall of Fame. And you're like, oh, my God. And you're crying, but you're like, this isn't even real, but I'm just in something. So
they picked me.
So that was the first reaction. The second reaction is I run a few other things, and one of them is involving immersion theater. And I immediately called up my guy, and I'm like, we have to do a Hall of Fame. You can just do one. Such a good idea. And literally next year we will be doing that.
Like an actor Hall of Fame or for your cast
like
members?
an immersion theater Hall of Fame. Like people who've done immersive theater and stuff like that. People are integral in the industry. We realized that nobody had been like stamped a Hall of Fame for that. So we're like, let's do it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it sounds cool, right? But again, it's all just kind of oddly named. But I think a Heroclix Hall of Fame is a brilliant idea because, again, there doesn't seem to be a lot to strive for a player. And then sometimes you can win stuff that's really prolific, and then it doesn't matter later on. Fortunately, that didn't happen. I actually thought, Dan, that was going to happen to you with the ROC. I thought in like 10 years or something like that you'd be like, well, I won 2 ROCs. And they're like, what's a ROC?
Right, but
that's not happened, fortunately.
Right.
But I thought when Howard started making that announcement, that's the direction it was going to go. But like the Clixtathon, do you guys even remember Clixtathon?
I don't know what those words mean.
So
yeah, that was the best championship you could get at one point in time, and now if you won it, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, so it was one of those things. I spent a lot of time looking up Heroclix history as I started to get into competitive play. Like one trip to, I think it was Origins the first year that we went in 2016. Jason and I like went over every past world champion. From the modern era, right? Because that's where all the records were kept. There's not really many records of the Wizard World winners other than like you guys still existing.
Some of them.
Can I just mention something about that? Would that be okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
The first Wizard World that I played in had like 300 people. It was like between 200 and 300 people.
Wow.
And yes, it was like Heroclix is not at an all-time high. In 2006, 2007, 2005, that area had significantly more people. And the amount of wins you had to rack up to get into there, I will always remember, I want to make sure I do this right, but my first championship I won, it was single elimination, and it started with 64, 2 rounds, cut to top 8.
Wait.
Am I doing that right? 32, 16, and then 8 people in that round went 2-0 and did not have the points in a single elimination tournament to go on.
Wow.
Dan, can you imagine how upsetting it would be if you went undefeated for 2 days and did not get into the top 8?
Dude, that's just bad management.
The Chicago tournament that George won, I also went undefeated in.
You were undefeated in another world.
I went undefeated in the Chicago Wizard World that George won, and I did not make the top tier to play in the same bracket George played in, despite never losing a single game and being a returning champion in that one. So they used to be very, very hard to win, and now I think people view them as like a Whiz Kids Open or something like that.
Yeah, so I mean, it's hard to imagine it, right? Because this would lead into my first question. So you're right? Those things used to be really big, and they were a big deal. But I think for some of us folks that, you're talking about like somebody that started with like Chaos War's been in the game for
like that's so far away.
Yeah, 8 years now. So
yeah, I might as well be talking about before the internet, Dan. This happened.
Right. Like Tyler was still in high school when you won.
Oh God.
Wait, no.
God, is that true?
I don't know. When did you win?
I won. My first championship was in 2006.
Oh yeah. I was 15.
Am I the first guest that you made cry within the first 5 minutes, Dan?
Sadly, no.
We typically don't make people cry.
Okay.
But that does lead me to my first question that I have for you. So you've seen a lot of rule changes since pretty much the beginning. What is one old rule, like whatever it is, one old rule that you would like to see changed from how it used to be to compared to now?
Like a rule that we used to have that could exist now, kind of thing, in a sense.
Yeah, like
I have a great one for that.
I know what it is.
Like Prob used to be 10 range or whatever. Like that could be an example.
Yeah, I know what it is.
Yeah, mine is going to be the rule that I pushed through so hard, and I pushed it. I mean, I can't tell you. Every day I was talking to people at Heroclix. I was in Seth Johnson's ear. I'm like, you can't keep making these figures if you don't have a damage depletion modifier, which I definitely did not call that smart. I definitely said something else. I'm like, if you're making free attacks, something has to happen. Otherwise, you're going to build these stupid, and they had these stupid unending combos. Of course, they were like a weird interaction, not just a single 50-point character that can just do it for whatever. But, Vulture right now would not be the same thing if he had a damage depletion modifier. And that was a rule that was not that long ago. And it was just simply, I think it was taken away for the Heroclix 15th anniversary. But
it's with the new Mighty Thor rules, it went away and it came out right after the Heroes for Hire whatever kind of thing, right?
Yeah,
so that's when it debuted.
Because that was such a big deal. People were making 5 attacks with like a wild carding Heroes for Hire or something like that. It was a long time ago. But you could there was times where you would just literally be like, oh, I went first, and that is game.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I didn't roll under a 3 more than 5 times. I guess I won. And it would be stuff like that was so damaging. So they started the damage depletion modifier, where it was just -1 to your damage if you did a free attack. And then Flurry was like immune to that. Right. And it was the second free attack. If you did more than one, with one character doing more than one free attack or something like that was the wording, I think. So that would be definitely the rule that I would 100% bring back. And then I would try to bring back a little bit more of the common sense ruling. Like, for example, back in Heroclix, things just kind of worked the same. Like, they wouldn't say, for example, like, if somebody's in stealth, you can re-roll them, but you can't outwit them. They would just be like, well, you can't draw a line of fire. And right now, just for the Colossal Retaliators, for example, if I roll Shape Change and Mangog attacks me, well, Mangog can't attack the first time, then can free attack the second time. If I roll Shape Change against Giant Girl, she can't do anything. And if I roll Shape Change against Dark Phoenix, she can just do whatever she wants. So, but then an incredibly similar worded same character named Phoenix cannot. And that kind of stuff is madness to me. They used to say, like, well, look, I know how the worlds work, but the intention of the power was to work like this, and that's how it's going to work. And they used to do a little bit more of that, and I like that.
Okay. Gotcha. I like the damage depletion. I think that could be I like that. I don't know why they took it out, really.
Yeah.
It just doesn't really make sense. I don't know. Maybe they were just trying to do stuff, but it didn't work. Well, it did. I mean, they wanted to do stuff like Vulture, I guess, and they did it. By God, they did it.
So
who doesn't love getting vultured?
I haven't yet, so I don't care.
You haven't got completely vultured. You've got a little vultured.
I got a little vultured. I was okay, though. Uni popping doesn't count as a KO, so it's fine.
That's true. Vulture technically didn't kill anything.
That's true. So next question, Scott. Are you familiar with Mr. Chomps?
I am familiar with Mr. Chomps. I think I bought a map maybe from Tyloer of Mr. Chomps. I'm not sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Mr. Chomps, our nasty-ass wrestling alligator, has not gone away. He's just been waiting for the next guest. I had some time to speak with him this afternoon. And so his challenge for you, his question for you is, would you rather wrestle to the death, Mr. Chomps, our nasty-ass wrestling alligator, or exclusively play the last team that Tyloer won with until it retires? and it rolls as Tyloer wins with different teams, or stays the same.
Okay, so play all of Tyler's teams. Wow, that's actually much easier than I thought. I've heard some of these before because I do listen to the show, and I've heard some of them where I'm like, I don't think I could give up my daughter. But this one, I actually like a lot of Tyler's teams. If you had said like your teams, Dan, I can't play your teams. That's so not my play style. Like 1 or 2 characters I'm so bad with. But Tyloer tends to play like a minimum of 5, but often 12, and that's exactly my style.
I don't know why you're saying teams plural.
I would learn to play with a whale. I don't know what I would do exactly, because
it has to be the team exactly. There's no deviation. So when Tyloer only plays with one map, like a dummy, then you only can play with that one map.
Yeah, I would. I think I would do it. And honestly, I did want to ask about Chomps though. If is Chomps, like when you say a wrestling alligator, is it like an alligator man who wrestles and then eats me, or is he like a normal alligator but maybe bigger and used to wrestling men?
Yeah, so he's a regular alligator, but he is bipedal.
Oh.
So
you used a word I don't know.
It means he can stand on his hind legs.
Yep. Wouldn't have guessed that's what that meant. Yeah. I was like, what's Chomps doing to me after he wins?
Yeah, so he'll eat you like a regular alligator would eat you.
I would play Tyler's whales. I've actually always kind of wanted to play whales. I think it's weird when somebody wins Worlds and multiple people don't play that team.
I think so too. Thank you.
I think it's weird that nobody's tried whales. I think it's weird that I haven't seen one iteration of Isaac's team out there. Yeah. I don't know why. It's obviously a tier 1 team. Like Tyler's good, but not like somehow craziness happened and he just always rolled crits.
It depends who you talk to, man.
I know.
So
I know. I'm not talking to parents.
In Tyler's example, I think there's 2 things. In Tyler's example, there's the amount of play time and practice that he's put in.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows where everybody gets placed in every matchup. And now Tyler's dice, I've played Tyloer like a dozen times or more in actual events. They skew higher than average.
No, it is impossible for dice to skew higher than average. There's a bell.
That's definitely possible.
Not over the course of Heroclix. Like, how many times we roll dice? Dice fall on a bell curve.
Yeah, so when Tyloer rolls below average, I win. When he rolls above average, he wins.
I will agree with that.
That's fair. That's a good Heroclixin. I have the same thing. If I'm playing George and George doesn't have his headphones on, I win. If it's headphone George and he won't talk to me, we have a Batman Joker relationship and he wins more. If he lets me Joker him, then I usually win.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's very true.
And then like you mentioned Isaac's team, and I think I mentioned this a couple episodes ago, in that Asgard Storm changes the direction of how that team has to be played. So like I said, Isaac could probably whip our ass with it at any point in time. But the boxing ring creating a -2 to take advantage of that, right, you're determining the course of your play, right? So wherever you place that boxing ring, you're going to probably want to land there.
So he didn't go in the boxing ring as much as you think. I will say that. And I don't think anybody other than his father play tested him more. And like, for example, he would play on what's not Ancient Hold, but the other one that has like a blood variant. I can't remember the name.
The King's Tomb.
Yeah, like King's Tomb. He picks King's Tomb a ton. So in a scenario in which Storm would be very prevalent, he's probably playing you on King's Tomb. Now, I will also say Isaac is so unlikely to play this team again because, Astronomer's not meta anymore. He's like just outside or not tier 1 super meta, whatever you want to say. I think I suspect Isaac will play Mortal Hulk, but I never know.
Right. I mean, it's one of those things that, like the pulse wave, the good running shot pulse wave at Worlds was only like 150 Storm. Of the Phoenix variety, the LE, not the Super Rare Prime, because that wasn't legal.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So Banshee's not that great in the format.
Agreed.
So what Asgard Storm brought in was a lot of Black Adam, and we've seen a lot of Black Adam recently. Mm-hmm. So he swiftness and sidesteps through blocking. So he likes King's Tomb. He likes Ancient Hold. So that he can, a lot of the times, depending on good swiftness rolls, can come out and then get to whatever team is hiding on Ancient Hold or King's Tomb.
Yeah, so Q's a lot less safe than it used to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And dice manipulation, I think Wendigo hurts dice manipulation a lot too. Just because there's so much attacking now. There's just so much attacking. Mm-hmm. I immediately thought dice manipulation was going to be the best thing in Heroclix, and it is not right now. You can attack like 8 times in a turn. That's not unreasonable. It's really not.
Scott, did you see the team we posted where you tank your own Ant-Man and average fish and gain 8 charges?
Yes, I heard the podcast on that. Yes. That really isn't bad. It's not insane. I've been wondering if that's the direction you go with that. I kept thinking so the thing I hate about Ant-Man is, so if you end up tanking your average fish. No, you have to tank their Ant-Man, and their Ant-Man's going to have shape change super senses.
Well, just senses, I think, but you have an aim guy to outwit it.
Okay.
I think he has. He
might have both. I don't know. I think you used to have at least one aim guy. No, because the shape change doesn't matter because you have the Venom harness.
Oh, with Vulture? Because you would have the Venom. That's true. That you'd have the Venom harness with Vulture.
Because that team just uses Venom harness and then just 8 charges to try to kill you.
Yeah, and that should probably do it. How fast can you do that, though? I was trying to think of that. How fast?
Turn two.
If you win map.
Yeah.
And then if you don't...
Is it a theme team?
Yeah, it's Avengers.
Oh, yeah, Steve Rogers. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that viable? I've wondered.
The problem is that you do have to win map, and you can do it on the Bifrost. Otherwise, you're just waiting on them to come up a little bit. Because you can also tank your own giant girls and the average fishes. So you have like a 4 or 5 charge that you can do turn 1 if they move.
I think I would call it like PJ win a map playable.
So real quick for Ant-Man, because you guys know I love Vulture, and I don't normally like theme team, but I like crazy trickery. So Bifrost, so Ant-Man moves into the Bifrost, and then
So Ant-Man moves into the Bifrost, sidesteps into the Bifrost, and then the giant girls carry him in. I'm sorry, move up, sidestep him in 3 times, I think.
No, that would 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the thing about that Ant-Man, he's shockingly good And yes, he does have shape change, and he does have super senses. So yeah, it's just a weirdly, shockingly good Ant-Man. Like when you look at him out, you're like 5 clicks, 30 points, shape change, super senses.
Yeah.
If he did something, I'd be thrilled.
Yep. Yeah, there might be other ways to get him in there, but there was also Harrison sent me a version with Mystical and Blade.
Oh god.
With Alex Wilder, but there's no 2-click Mystical characters because Wendigos would get their stop click because it's not damage from an attack, so Blade doesn't go through it.
Wait, it should be damage from an attack.
No, it might be. I don't know. I have to think about that one. He sent it to me in passing.
Yeah.
So if a tank drop on the Wendigos and a Wilder would get past the stop click on Wendigo, then you could tank like more, and you could also carry in Billies to the Bifrost to tank them, and I think you get like 10 charges or something absurd with Blade.
Okay. Wait, who's he attacking first? Is it the same thing?
Oh, you know what? No, that's the thing. So, Blade has to attack that character for them to not use defense powers. So he's not actually attacking the Wendigo. He's only attacking Wilder.
Oh, he attacks Wilder. That makes sense.
I wanted to know, I guess you have to. I keep thinking of. I'm like, could I just play Alex Wilder, and if I win map?
Well, you can do it non-themed if you have like Jean Grey and give him mind control with an object. You can do it like that unthemed, but that's a lot of points.
I was trying to think carrying Alex Wilder in the Bifrost a few times is reasonable. And then worst case scenario, I have Alex Wilder. That's not the worst character ever to have, just randomly.
Yeah, the problem is that there's no just 1-click mystical characters that are low points. I mean, Tri-Sentinel does work, but he's 30 points, so it's not.
Yeah, for me, I immediately don't look at theme. I just try to. I never think theme. But in this weird trickery case, I think theme would definitely be the need to go because that's the definition of map. Why does it have to be Aquaman? I keep thinking of
because he's low enough points that makes enough Pogs.
You can make 4 a turn, I think, right?
Yeah, so like turn 2, you have 8 fishes and they're autonomously swimming up there.
Yeah, this is probably
that.
Yeah, and you're in this theme, you're playing 2 Steve Rogers, basically?
Yeah.
What is it a plus?
What a time to be alive.
I think it's an 8.
Really, what a time to be alive. Is this the best time to be alive right now? Coronavirus is going to shut down the world, but we can play an Aquaman who generates average fish.
Well, it's like
and kill them ourselves.
It's a team we're talking about.
It is. That is a madness team. That is
the
madness team.
If the tank drop worked on the Wendigos, the mystical version's like a plus 13 or 14. Because it's like Blade, Billy's Wendigo Venom Harness. And that's it.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think the Avengers one's the way to go there. It's what did you say it was, Dan? A plus 9?
I think 8 or 9, yeah.
Plus 9 might be worth it because worst case scenario, all you're really screwing up, like the only reason that team kind of sucks going second would be like, and you could go second and that team could not be that aggressive.
Right, yeah, that's possible.
Too. So it's possible that you still win even if you go second. That does happen. Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ. I don't know. I'm considering playing it if I'm being honest. I really like it.
Wait a minute. Do the that's it. Do the Loki? You can't play the Loki clones by themselves. That's annoying.
He doesn't have Avengers, does he? The big one?
No, he has Mystical though.
Oh yeah.
If I could just play a bunch of random clones, that would be good.
So there's Iron Avenger, but that's kind of assuming you don't get map. You could do the Penguin thing, right? But that's not the Bifrost. Yeah, that's not going to work.
Yeah. So.
That's an interesting trick, though. Maybe I should play that and just, screw the whole thing. Maybe instead of playing my Iron Avenger idea, maybe I just try to play the Penguin. How many does that give me if I lose? One?
One.
Yeah, so I might as well just play an Iron Avenger. But I've never considered dropping the tank on my own guy, but maybe I should.
I've never considered it, but I've done it on accident.
I have too, but yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I always play with Crimson Sage. He dies in a click. I could run my Surtur up there too. Kill my own Surtur. Perfect.
Yeah. I mean, Vulture, if you're playing Vulture, I feel like you should be playing the tank right now. It's so good, especially because you're playing Jasons.
Yeah, I am.
They're all good.
Yeah, right now, my current iteration that I was playing, I'm not set on everything, but my current team is Jason, Surtur, Vulture, Ock Arms, Mr. Oz, WWE Ring, which I think is kind of almost mandated if you're losing map right now. Jean Grey, Spectral Ring, Pocket Tank, and then, this is stupid, but Angel. I was trying to find a 3-point student ID real quick that gave me Perplex. Beast is probably better. There's a stupid Beast that gives you Perplex. So I'm trying to figure it out. Maybe the Spectral Rings. I was trying to go on the side of Jason being more powerful than Vulture. I like Harley too. I've been playing around with those last points. Yeah. I've played a lot without the tank, and I really do love the tank for Jason and for Vulture. So
yeah, I like it. And I feel like if you're playing the tank, maybe you can take off the Spectral Ring, just because it can help you get around stealth.
There's a shocking amount of times, I would say 80% of the time that I play this team, I am attacking somebody on my opening turn. That is what happens. And that's the only thing I'm trying to kind of balance, because the Ock Arms, obviously, if I'm going second, which I definitely am, that's not good. So I'm trying to kind of find that balance. The Spectral Ring, obviously, equipping that is a turn, so I can't figure out that. So I'm trying to strengthen it in that first opening attack.
Right, on your first turn.
On my first turn, my first turn, and I'm attacking, because my God, it literally people are in my grill the first turn every time, and I can get to the back of the map with no sweat. So I'm just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dan. I'm taking over. I apologize.
No, you're fine. This is good. This is good discussion. So I think what you're running into is why Vulture is so good themed, and you're running into the conundrum of offensive equipping is not effective on non-theme or low theme.
Yeah, and maybe that I should take the Spectral Ring off then and put on Harley, so that, legitimately turn one, Vulture is, if I was to play, let's say, Harley Psylocke, I could get Harley or Psylocke, kind of make that choice. I can get 3 Perplexes and exploit weakness, or 4 Perplexes and not exploit weakness, and be in your back row vulturing you.
That's not bad.
It's not terrible. It's not ridiculous. Okay. And then you've killed my Vulture. I've done whatever I can to you, and now I have 2 Jasons. And next turn I'm going to Jason mind control you or something.
With the Perplexes still.
Yeah, and then you have to deal with Surtur too. So.
Yeah, Surtur. Who cares about him?
Yeah, he's not good. That is what lost me that WizKids Open, though. I had a 13 attack Surtur that just couldn't seem to want to hit. 6 damage, 13 attack Surtur. And I'm like, yes! And then I'm like, I have 2 rerolls. How is this a no? And it was. It was a no.
And it was.
What did he let you retail on?
So he kind of was forced to just attack. He pushed. He had Thanos Black Adam, which is, he's. I think he, if memory serves, and he played it perfectly. He put in Storm, and obviously I could retail in Storm, but then he took out a Jason, because I have 2 Jasons, and Thanos can just, snap one off the board with his free attack. So he let me attack Thanos. And I'm like, you know what? If I Thanos, and then if I hit Thanos for 6, and then I flurry with Vulture, even just Vulture being Vulture, I can kill him, and I miss the Surtur thing. And then I'm like, oh, well, now I guess I'll attack Thanos anyway. And I'm like, miss. Or actually, I think I hit both of them pointlessly. And I'm like, cool. Well, I'm dead. And it was just pointless. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was all into the Surtur attack. And my theory was just, why don't I try to kill his, if I can kill his Thanos and I'm just dealing with Black Adam and it's Vulture, he had one token, he was going to storm me again, so something was going to die. So basically Black Adam straight up versus Jason and Colin and Oz. It's not in a great matchup, but I was behind, so I thought it was my best option. Maybe I hit a shape change and then I win.
Yeah, I like that team, the Thanos Black Adam team. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's shockingly good. Shockingly good. You'd think it wouldn't be good, but it is really good.
Did he used a Carnage, right?
He used Carnage. I actually agree with that call. I've seen his other options, and nothing really makes sense. Probably the only thing I'd change on his team is I play the 3-point Jean Grey. He occasionally uses the 5.1 5-point ID just to be able to carry a sidestep with Thanos when he calls her in, which comes up once every 500 games.
Does he have objects?
Yeah, he was playing. I think he was playing Soul Gem and Venom Symbiote.
Soul Gem.
Yeah.
And Venom Symbiote. So it's 270, 280, 286. So he only has like 3 IDs.
Yeah.
We only has 3 characters.
That makes sense. Okay, never mind. My criticism is withdrawn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, he can and you gotta remember that Thanos doesn't fly. So Black Adam swiftness outs, then he can sidestep, land on his own Venom Symbiote, equip that, then Thanos sidestep holds the Soul Gem for a turn, or even Carnage. Carnage goes and gets the Soul Gem. Black Adam carries Thanos up after he equips, and then Black Adam gets his thing. Then turn 2, you're ready to go.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Dan, can I ask you a question? What would you change on my team? Do you like this team? It's very much not how you play, and I'm curious what you think of it, because to me, I feel like when I present you this team, you're like, Scott put a smattering of random fucking figures together.
No, so I mean, there is a strategy there, right? But there's a couple of issues, I think. Jason has won stuff.
Yes.
So, and not saying that the team is not that great, but it makes a lot of rolls. And if you're mind controlling, let's just say you have your Jason at a 14 attack, and he goes and hits a whale with a 10 attack, and then the whale can't hit shit because it's got a 10 attack. That kind of sucks.
So that happens a lot, and I will say that that's why I was thinking about Spectre Ring, but again, usually I can't do it because I don't get that. That's me attacking on my second turn. So
right, so you got to think, do you want, for advice, right? So it's like offensive equipping teams that are unthemed need fill.
Yeah, if I'm playing like Tyler's team, I think it's definitely a Vulture. Tyler's team is definitely more, Vulture unfortunate, and I just try to I can get to the back of the board and kind of rattle through his, Surturs and stuff like that.
So his first, so you got what? Jason, Vulture,
Surtur. Sorry, let me look at it again. I've played a lot of small variations, but the core is Oz, Jason, Vulture, Surtur, and then the WWE ring. Those things never change. Oh, and a Jean Grey call in. So those things never really change.
So why not just take out one Jason and put in a Jean, so that Jean can call out Jean, and then you're doubling the amount of offensive perplexes that you control.
So
you can perplex up Jean's attack or damage, so that your attacker that you're mind controlling is at least one good one.
Are you saying that does Jean have perplex or something? What am I missing here?
No, because if you attack a character on their team, right, there's no guarantee that it's going to be higher than a 10 or an 11. But you can put some of your Harley or just the perplex you have on the board into Jean's attack or damage.
That's true. I definitely I don't play it offensive with Jean. I almost assume that she misses because she has an 11 attack. How could 11 attack hit something? You need a 14 attack.
It's not an invalid statement there.
I like that idea. I will tell you my pros and cons. I think it's a better Jason build, but it's a worse Vulture build. So I think Jason's better with, obviously the 2 Jean Greys are phenomenal. They go different directions. They're in your grill. Like, they blow up. There's so many great things about about both the Jeans. The problem is if I'm vulturing, though, I don't have Perplex on my team. So Jason can call out a Perplex and then, call it a Harley, so I'm +3. But if I have 2 Jasons, I can – a lot of times, not all the time, but if I'm attacking turn 2, then I can have – he can call out 5 Perplexes, right? He can call out 2 Perplexes each Jason, and then I also have the call-in Perplex as well, which sometimes can be Psylocke, so I have Exploit. Sometimes can be Harley, so I have the double Perplex.
And I guess since it's unthemed, are you playing Skull Camp?
No, I've been playing. What does Skull Camp do? What am I thinking? I've been playing. If I can untheme, I've been playing Avengers Assemble. What does Skull Camp do?
So Skull Camp, if you lose map, the consolation is your opponents get -1 to mind control, -1 defense when attacked by Incap, Mind Control, or TK.
You son of a bitch, that's really good. That is
The map is called Skull Camp, and the bonus is called Keep the Trains Running.
That's what I knew what Keep the Trains Running is, but I've never seen anybody play it if they're going to lose map. That's clever. Poison carries modified defense -1 when targeted by Mind Control, Incap, or TK. That's not bad.
No, just got to be aware that it is enemies, so it does not work with your Jean Grey.
Yeah, but whatever.
But it's still
that's interesting. Yeah, still good. Still very, very good.
Yeah, it was played a lot during the Pauper states.
With Onslaught.
With Onslaught, yeah.
That makes sense. I just played a Pauper in one, and I should have played that. I tend to side with the 5-point reroll of Crimson Sage, and right now I don't have either because I'm desperately trying to min-max these 20 some odd points and figure out is it the tank, is it the Spectre Ring,
that's the hard part.
3 or 4
last 20
points. Yeah. Is it 2 or 3 call-ins? Do I downgrade from Surtur? But Surtur, I don't know if anything's actually more scary to people than Surtur.
Yeah, I like Surtur. I don't know.
Yeah, has that ever done well for you?
Mangog is Surtur.
Mangog is Surtur too, yeah. Surtur is technically a little scarier than Mangog, but I think Mangog is, I don't know, they're both really scary.
Have you thought about going with Dark Phoenix? Because you can just buffer up an attacker with her.
I like that. I mean, that's even less points, though, that I have.
You're not wrong.
That's, yes, I do think that Dark Phoenix is definitely a playable option. And right now, if I looked at it, I don't know, which would you be? It's always like I'm going to kill your Vulture, and then I'm like, oh, but I'm on the other side of the board, and you have Surtur on the other side of the board and Vulture on one side of the board, and I have to do both. It's hard to be in both. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it.
It's hard to attack on your square 3 and then also hit on their square 23 in the same exact turn.
Right. How often would you say you get Surtur off?
So if I played 10 games, I've won with Surtur twice. One because of Surtur. Mm-hmm. Then the question is, how many times does Surtur die? And it's very valid. I just played DJ, and it didn't matter at all. Surtur was just dead almost instantaneously, and it was kind of pathetic.
Yeah. Which happens sometimes.
Yeah.
So, it just depends then. So you have other options, right? So, Magneto can get you another square. Dark Phoenix can attack other things. Mm-hmm. You can double down on Carnages, and that frees up 5 points.
Yeah, that's true. And Carnage is very good. Carnage, I don't know, super underrated, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, not for me, but
fair.
You gotta think that you also have 10-point giant girls that can attack other characters.
I don't think
there's so many options. I think that for me, like if you're thinking about like, do I play this? Am I building up my team that I'm going to play for Nats, which is kind of what everyone I think is thinking about, depending on what comes out in JLU. So, if you think about how you're going to run, so I think about how I'm going to run that team up the ladder, right? So if my goal is to win, I know I got to make it through top 4, top 8, top 16, top 32. And as I get higher in those brackets, people aren't going to let me Surter.
Very true. Very true. So I guess in your case, Dan, tell me what you do. So I come over at you, I vulture you. I don't like pop your uni or anything like that, but maybe I take him down a little bit or something like that, or maybe I'm on his last click. So I'm in your starting zone.
Mm-hmm.
Do you attack my vulture, or just or do you come across to attack the Surter? What
no,
do you?
So like in the example, right? So you didn't pop uni because I rolled a shape change or something, and
sure, yeah. So I got him down a little bit, so it wasn't like nothing happened, but nothing. Like you're still okay.
Right. So my Lockjaw wouldn't have any tokens at that point because I don't token Lockjaw turn 1.
Mm-hmm.
So in that example, it's a pretty simple Lockjaw. Uni picks prob. I call out Storm. I make her 5 damage if I can knock you back into a wall, 6 damage if I need to one-shot Vulture. Running shot, single target pulse wave with a prob. Lockjaw picks TK. TK's uni outside of 5 squares. Storm poofs, you don't get Surter.
Yeah, that's okay. That's really good.
Yeah, it's got to be the call-in at that point.
So then you call in that. So maybe Surter's wasted.
It's like I've done that before.
No, you know that shit. You know your team, man. You absolutely know your team. I forgot to ask if I was allowed to swear or not, and I know I accidentally did at least once or twice.
No, you're fine. So our thought is we don't get
rid of Surter.
Yeah, we don't intentionally swear, but if it comes up, it's fine.
So yeah, maybe your best thought is Carnage for Surter. That's a very reasonable idea. I get one ID, frees up a lot of points. That is a lot of points, and there's so many things I want to do.
And then so like I play Skyscraper Wonder Woman now, and one of the greatest things that has been since Carnage and like Skyscraper Wonder Woman was released is a Colossal with sidestep. Because if she picks up a single base in front of her and moves her back, that's like 3 squares, or more, right? So she sidesteps 2, grabs in front. That's like a 5 square move.
Right.
Oh my God, Dan, can I tell you what what me and Tyler talked about? Because we reviewed your team because you submitted it. Can I tell you what my advice for your team was?
What's that?
You are not going to take this advice. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Make it non-themed. Okay, you ready? So to make it non-themed, take off Flora, and Skyscraper Wonder Woman and replace with Mr. Sinister.
And
give them essentially no points.
Yeah, so there's a couple of thoughts. I've done that before.
I know you have. You've done all of it before.
Yeah, so in summer, specifically it was summer of 18, I was doing Lockjaw, Uni, Mudman.
Yeah.
And the issue is that there was no call-in retail at that point. So it was just a constant, they would focus fire on Uni without having repercussions. So if I was to do that now, I would make sure that I could call in Phoenix or an Iceman. That makes it a little more palpable. I'm actually probably thinking about doing Uni Magneto Sinister, 3 Henchmen, something like that, so I can get 6 IDs and then have my 2 Eternals, 6 IDs. Maybe a retail in there. It all depends. So I'm still working out that kind of version. I've been working on that this week.
What about replacing Uni with Jason and then putting on a vulture?
It's maybe after retirement.
Solid.
No, I would be disappointed if you didn't play Unimine for nationals. You deserve to retire that piece.
Oh, man, I feel like that piece has been in the meta for 5 years, man.
Yeah, I didn't mention this. I won the 2007 World Championship with Unimind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
I would not doubt it. So, no, this is good, Scott. I like this. This is
fun.
Cersei came out in critical mass, so it is technically feasible
And
that
Eternal.
you did that. Yeah.
Yes.
There's probably a lot of good options for Eternals in Golden.
There is, because none of them had keywords. You just be like, he is an Eternal.
No, they have a spreadsheet or like a sheet that they gave keywords to everything.
That, yeah. But
Yeah, there's actually there's no count, but there is like I think 15 or more Golden Age Eternals that you could play.
Yeah.
So Uni would literally have like 8 perplexes.
Back then the scary part was not map. Map was, important, but like it wasn't that important. What was really scary is what battlefield condition you still have. That was terrifying.
Fun.
Oh
I
my God.
Those.
Because you had to keep them secret and nobody knew what was left, and you get to the final round and you just have what's left. And I was never a hold it for the next round kind of guy. So I had, I think, nothing left. And I remember asking Steven on the way up to like playing on the main floor of Gen Con, I'm like, what do you have left? And in my head, I'm like, please not poor teamwork. Please not poor teamwork. And he's like, poor teamwork. And I'm like, no!
Wait, you could only use them once?
Yeah, you could use them once per tournament. And
dude, that's
you had
crazy.
To have, well, otherwise you would just ordinary day and just be like battlefield conditions don't exist. So you were allowed to have one ordinary day. You had to have one blank spot, and you could have one per round of a tournament, and one round had to be blank. So that's how they used to be, and I've always believed
through them all.
Yeah, my belief always was that don't save anything for the next round. And like smart people like George would be like, this opponent is easy. And I'd be playing like a 4-year-old who like has the Heroclix in their mouth, and I'd be like, my best battlefield condition.
Suck it. Yeah.
Huh.
Like it.
So that was interesting. So yeah, I never really knew that you could only have a stack of them for the day.
Yeah.
I was like, because why didn't everybody just play ordinary day every round?
Now we know. Yeah,
there was a time where I think you could play 2. My memory's a little foggy. They printed 3 ordinary days in total.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember paying like I think $100 for a protected ones.
Oh my God. Dude, I was when those came out, I was like 14. And I liked my extraordinary day because it was cool. It had cool art. I got to crit more.
I was smoking 5 packs a day and, talking about taxes.
Me too.
So let's talk a little bit about some of our listener questions. And this kind of goes into what we've seen in WKOs and what we expect for states. Rick Ryan writes in, where is all of this meta-busting Ultron dominance? Do you think people are sandbagging their competitive Ultron builds until Nats or Worlds, or was he just overhyped?
I don't think anybody's sandbagging anything. I think people are just testing stuff right now in WKOs. We've seen Ultrons, like a couple of them. They've made top cuts.
Yeah, we've seen Ultron top cuts. What do you think, Scott? Do you play a prob with a 14 attack, Scott?
Well, I do. I play a prob. I'll play a prob. I'd play 17 prob characters. I don't think Ultron's good, like, at all.
What?
Yes, I don't think he's a tier 1 piece. I think he is like if I see an Ultron across from me, I am thrilled, and I view it as almost a definite win.
You're insane.
I am insane, but I will tell you this. I just here's a good example, right? So I was playing a Can't Die team, he picked map, or a bunch of different stuff happened, right? And I literally I had an extra charge. I charged Ultron. I had 2 charges. I charged Ultron once. I hit him to his, whatever, stealth click or something like that, stop click. And then I just used my extra charge to run away. And he's like, oh no, there's a wall.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true.
And so, like, once he's not very mobile. He's like, you could make an argument that he's hard to kill, but he's definitely not harder to kill than Immortal Hulk. You could make an argument that that mind control thing is cool, and yes, it is. I played a Captain America thing thinking Ultron was the bomb, 400-point Captain America, and I played a theme Masters of Evil. I played 2 Ultrons and got my butt handed to me by children. I did not think he was very good. Now, I was playing him on 50-point dial, but like people just go and immediately kill Ultron first, and I'm like, I hope I can survive with my Melter or whatever I was playing. I don't remember. But like, yeah, I don't think he's that good. And you can easily, nothing on him is guaranteed. Does that make sense? And if you're trying to just call in cool stuff, everything that you want to call in is 85 points, right? So who cares about the extra 100, right? So, and he's not that hard to kill. He is hard to kill. I actually like Captain Marvel significantly more than Ultron, and I think Captain Marvel has guaranteed stuff that definitely works, and about the same amount of stop clicks. I can't remember.
She has the same amount. She's 1 click less, but.
Yeah, so I like her a lot better, and I think that a lot of times you can just be like, oh, I got you with the mind control thing. Oh, you rolled out of it, and now we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see where you would come from on that. I like that. But what I think is important for folks with Ultron is that the Ultron, Magneto, Sinister, Tri-Sentinel team with IDs is a standard thing that you need to know how to beat.
Yes, absolutely. Sure. And that's the thing I beat, and I thought was so easy to beat.
Right. I mean, it depends, right? So if they let you have it comes down with Vulture, right? If the player in that situation allowed you to flurry onto Sentinel and Ultron, and then you built a charge, tagged him, then flurry, tagged him, then that's a problem on their end.
Fair. I just ignored Ultron. I just moved around. He'd like walk up to me and I'd be like, I'm going to move. And that was kind of what happened with Ultron. Mid-dial Ultron. I mean, Ultron only has 1 click of running shot. Now, there's probably better players and there's people that'll be savvier on it, but like, can anybody describe to me why Ultron is better than Immortal Hulk, and in what way?
Yeah, I mean, he's not, but he is in the pantheon.
People will play him, and you need to know how to beat him. But Dan, which would you be more excited to play against, Ultron or Immortal Hulk? Which one do you hope to not see against you more?
I mean, just in a vacuum, like
in a 300-point team.
Yeah.
I mean, if a Hulk's themed, then that's a problem. I'd rather not see Hulk themed, but if it's like unthemed, if it's monster themed Hulk, I don't want to see that.
Yeah. I think, I keep getting more and more sold on Immortal Hulk.
He's really
and
good.
And Jason. I just learned from Devin that Jason, he can mind control, and I feel dumb saying this out loud, but I didn't realize he could mind control repeatedly from the same exact target. I thought he had to chain it.
You've been playing this for a month.
Yes, I have. I played it for a week and realized he couldn't be outwitted. Like, his card goes on for endlessly.
Did you also just learn he could remove tokens from himself, too?
Yes! He's the best. Like, he's the gift that keeps on giving. I can't wait to find out that he can stop Unimind from popping. Oh, no, it's in the card, Dan. I'm sorry. You're not allowed to replace figures. It says right here in Jason Wingard's 7-page card.
Subsection 2, yeah. I agree with that. He does, he does so much.
I'm an engineer. I'm in engineering, so if he had a 7-page card, I would read every word and determine if he could stop Unimind from busting.
That's why Dan likes Unimind. Because he likes how much text is on the card.
Yes, and I cannot even spell engineer, and I think that might be true.
You know what? I super sensed out of 2 pulse waves in my WKO win, so that was exciting.
Yeah,
Oh.
that feels good.
Yeah. So let's answer Richard Leo's question and here. So Scott, you've won 2 sealed WKOs this month. Could you tell us the best pieces for sealeds and the best strategies to opening up Chase Thor and 2 shifting focus Ironmans?
The people want to know, Scott.
People want to know how it is. So first off, I actually do have some strategies. WizKids Open is becoming more of a thing. So what I did, the mulligan thing is becoming a bigger thing. So what I did for the last one is I prepaid as if I was going to mulligan, so that I would have time to, if I needed to, because
So
everything,
win, basically.
yeah. Well, I mean, mulligan is just part of it right now. If you're playing a mulligan, you should presume that you're going to mulligan, and if not, just sell it back, right? Or sell it to the person that's going to mulligan. They don't have to stay in line. So that's an immediate thing that helps me a lot. If you're playing in a mulligan world, you need to have, and in this particular set, the rares are not amazing. There's a couple amazing rares you can pull, but you're really trying for a super rare. So essentially, if you don't have a super rare in one of the packs, you just mulligan it 9 times out of 10. Now, I actually played in 9 sealed Captain America events.
Oh my God.
In preparation for the WizKids Open. So,
how many did you mulligan?
I mulliganed in every one that I could, except for the very last one where I pulled War Machine Spider-Man, which I'm like, that's the keeper.
Yeah.
So I won with a lot of different things. I beat Immortal Hulk like at least 5 times. And I've seen a lot of people win with very I think some of the things that people kind of forget is when you're playing sealed, their reroll is incredibly important, but if you don't have reroll, the old man reroll is attacking twice. So if you don't have the great figures, then don't try to build this dumb tent pole thing. Try to build 6 figures. Try to be like, I'm going to attack you 5 times. Maria Hill is an incredible equalizer in the set. She is a tier 1 piece that nobody plays. She should be played 98% of the time she is pulled. Barrier skips people's turns and skips people's attack. If you're playing against a War Machine, and a lot of people will build like a War Machine that hits for 7, well, that War Machine is going to TK up and hit your barrier for 1,000. It doesn't matter. You can't do anything. And then you can do whatever you want. You get in position. There's only 1 barrier piece, I believe, in the whole set with opening barrier. So nobody's going to play around that. Theme is incredibly important in these. A shocking amount of people don't get to play theme. So you can beat, a lot of times you can play a little lesser if you didn't pull well and do theme. TK, Prob is number 1. Prob goes in the team if I have to pull off Captain Marvel to do it. I will do anything to get Prob. So those are just my initial things. And then, of course, I always bring my own boosters that have a Chase Thor in them.
Oh, okay.
You're on the podcast where people take things for like to heart about that, like, oh, Scott said it on Click Stuff.
Good. Let's
go, shots fired, bang bang. Oh my gosh.
The thing about the one difference between me and most people is I can say about anything and nobody takes me seriously.
I take you seriously.
I proposed a marriage to somebody the other day and they laughed that off. And I'm like, we've been dating 2 years. Nope.
What?
I'm kidding.
Okay.
But seriously.
Don't they know who you are?
Yeah, no. They didn't even know my last name.
So I think that's some great sealed advice that has led into. So Kenny Pena, thanks for writing in, Kenny. Last week saw a huge uptick in player attendance for WKOs. What do you think were the contributing factors to this, and will the trend continue for the final week? So I think that it was the sealeds last week were huge, and even some of the constructors were bigger than normal.
Right.
So you had a combination of captain. So if the last set of WKOs we had ABPI. ABPI at least had really strong rares the uncommons and commons weren't the strongest compared to like pulling a Spider-Man or something like that. But Captain America has good figures from commons up. I mean, I got second in my sealed WKO with 3 commons and an uncommon.
Nice.
So you've got a set where you can play a team that's commons and uncommons and do okay. Secondly, people are realizing that Deadpool the Duck's probably pretty good, and it's a Deadpool figure, as opposed to last summer it was Ambrose Chase, and I had to Google.
My God.
I can kind of guess who Deadpool the Duck is, but if I have to Google who Ambrose Chase is, then, maybe a lot of people won't be showing up for that kind of figure.
I just literally gave away an Ambrose Chase, and I still have 2 more if anybody wants any.
Yeah, I think I still have 1, maybe 2 left.
Yeah.
I love how a figure can attack like 7 times in a turn and still like, meh.
It's meh. It is. It's
Yeah.
like,
I thought
it
it
would
was
be a
gonna be
really
good.
cool rare piece. It would be a cool rare in a set that is themed with whatever Ambrose Chase is from. That'd be cool. But I think another big part of it is that we've been in sort of a Heroclix drought. These are the first big events since like the last ones. Yeah,
Pauper States, and Pauper States saw good
Pauper.
turnout too.
It did. But this is like modern wise. Like there's been a few, like Chicago had something. I'm sure Texas has always run events, but this is the big showing before States, before Nats. I think that helps. But Sealed did better, and Sealed, that's probably just because anybody local will come for Sealed. All your casual local players are going to come to a Sealed. They're not going to come to and that's a lot. Like in Cincinnati, if we did a Sealed WKO, we would probably get 15 people. But if we did a 300 modern, we'd have like 2. So that helps a lot as well.
Yeah.
I will say that traditionally in like the theater world and the entertainment world, the week after Valentine's Day is a popular day for people to not hang out with their spouses and significant others. So
that's so sad.
But very true, very true.
Dang. But yeah, that's why I think.
So that helps. Yeah, Sealed's definitely it though. Sealed will draw more. It always will. Mm-hmm. I love Sealed too. Sealed it's a special occasion when it's Sealed. It's you can't just casually like. I've never been like, hey Dan, want to quickly play a Sealed tonight?
That's true. Yeah, Sealed is definitely fun.
Well, Sam and I do that. That's our date night time. We'll go buy some boosters and play a Sealed.
Have I ever mentioned I'm deeply jealous of your relationship? That sounds like the most fun ever. That you like. I hope you know how lucky you are. That is so fun. I wish that was the thing. I think that I 100% really, really like the ability to mulligan. I think that's a huge new thing, and I don't know if that's going around everywhere, but man, it means that you can't it's so unlikely for you to just have nothing to play.
Yeah, it gives people way more confidence to travel for events, I think.
Absolutely. If you can mulligan one booster and a booster of your choice, I just feel like it's a lot less about luck then. Mm-hmm. You're going to be able to put together something as a good player.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when you mulligan, pull a Chase Thor.
Awesome.
I can't stress that enough.
Right. So, just based on probably just a guess, because I don't think any of us know. Are we going to at Sealed Team Nats? Are we going to be playing JLU or Captain America?
JLU.
I think so too.
I think the days of Heroclix WizKids being horribly stupid is gone.
I want to say yes.
I mean, that's really dumb. That reeks back to anybody remember when they played the Hulk set? They're like, oh yeah, hey guys, we're all playing the Hulk set. It was like 2 sets ago, and we're like the Hulk set. It It would be like if we went to Worlds and they gave you rebirth boosters.
Oh my god.
And you're just like, what? Except
so that's my worry, is that if JLU is like rebirth, then that's going to be just a boring Team Nats like.
Hopefully
not necessarily, Dan, because I can be like, oh, you have a Hawk Girl. I'm sorry, I have Hawk Girl 1075AB, and that Hawk Girl, when playing against an Atom but having an adjacent Superman, can outwit your ability to live.
Yeah, well,
it does add an element to it.
I don't think it requires that kind of card to take away that ability. So,
I hope just that. I've heard. Did anybody else hear that they might be doing like a whole brick for Team Sealed instead of 6 boosters?
I feel like Howard mentioned that last year.
That would be cool. I would
Why
like
not?
that. It just adds so much consistency to your.
Oh,
pool.
that would be. You're right.
Right. Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
That is a great idea. I didn't realize how good that was.
Downside's obviously cost, but I mean it would be really cool just to know that you're gonna get like 3 super rares instead of 6 rares.
And a prime or a chase, right?
Right.
I mean, like,
yeah.
Except when those 2 rares are 2 100-point whales.
They were 2 50-point whales, sir.
No, I think you played them at 100, didn't you? Because you played.
No, I played 2 50-point whales, and I played Kronos at 70, and I played something else.
That was it.
Was that it?
Yeah, it was a 100, 170, I think.
Maybe. Okay, maybe. I don't remember.
I do hate when somebody has like 3 chases or something stupid and they're mixing them all up.
And then they win the whole event. Yeah.
You mean like the Team Felboat guys that pulled 2 Red Skulls last year?
Or Howard's team that pulled 6 super rares in the chase.
Yeah, that's right. They pulled 6 super rares in a chase.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is madness when that stuff happens. It is. I think they should go to a brick. Why not?
Brick would help a lot.
Would.
I think they'd be afraid that it would turn down like the attendance because of the cost. People just play BRs, but I don't know. You just have to run it and see, I guess.
I'm going to right now shoot a message to Kenny saying we think this is a good idea.
Yes. So Scott, you drew in the you have an aura that you gravitated in folks to ask questions tonight that have never asked questions before.
Interesting.
So Scott,
they're probably going to be negative about me.
No, they're not.
Some of them are.
Scott D'Ignazio, and I hate that I maybe mispronounce Scott's name all the time. At high-level play, when you tend to run into the same players, how much of your mental game is playing against the team, and how much is playing against the player, anticipating how you think they will react in certain situations, and are there Heroclix tells?
I don't think there can be necessarily Heroclix tells. I do play people sometimes where I get the opinion that, like, this is a person that's going to forget about this. I just played last night. I was playing against somebody. He forgot about his retaliator, so I did something else the next turn that would have screwed me really badly. But I just got the sense that he forgot he was on the board. That kind of stuff. But, everybody – I do know everybody there's different people. So, Dan, if I'm playing against you, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to play as fast as humanly possible. And I'm going to do a lot of tokens on the board so that I don't make a mistake. If I play, because I know you're not going to be like, Dan, I forgot to perplex that 3 rolls ago. It's cool, right? Dan, you're not going to lose worlds because you're saying it's cool. If I play George, I'm going to try to talk to him the whole time. Because George plays incredibly well in his head. He's like a genius. But if you talk to him, he can't do that.
Thank you. I needed to know that. Now I know to talk to George.
Yes, absolutely. But George will headphone you. He'll be like, I love you, and then just headphone you and never end. He won't talk back to you. And it will be the Joker Batman scenario that he loves to do to me when it's serious. If I'm playing certain people, I will play slower. A little bit. I try not to play slow as a general because I am a slow player in general. Just that's I usually have so many options, and a lot of times if I haven't practiced, I usually go in. This year is not going to be the case, but like the last 2 years, I have gone in sometimes and I'm playing in nationals, and it's the first time I put the team on the field. Which is madness, I'm aware, but I run a company and sometimes that stuff just happens.
Sure.
So I try not to do that, but sometimes you're playing slower. It depends on what they're doing. But I will have a game plan. I'm trying to think of certain people I play differently. PJ is one of the most interesting people to play because PJ almost won't let you make a mistake,
right.
And he won't make a mistake either, but he will suggest bad ideas to you.
He does that. I swear to God, PJ gets in my head when I play him.
Yeah, so I will not take I will listen to all PJ's suggestions and then say, what happens if I do that, and walk it out to his turn, because usually about 80% of PJ's suggestions are terrible and 20% will save your life, and it's a really weird combo. I hate playing Matt. Matt is the hardest person to play, I think, in Heroclix. And Dan, have you guys all played Matt Asperk before?
Yeah.
Nobody in the world is harder to play than him.
I played Matt when we both had Nimrod. That's the only time I've ever played him.
That is the most Matt scenario possible too.
Yeah, I played him in top 4 in Worlds.
Yeah. You played him in top 4 in Worlds, and Matt now, he's very, very good. He's better when he's not playing in like a top 2, top 4. He's getting back to it now, but the thing about Matt is playing Matt is like playing somebody in poker who has unlimited money.
What does that even mean?
What it means is you're playing poker and you're like, I'll bet you this. And he's like, I don't care. Money is irrelevant to this situation. So you'll play, and you play to win. Like that. I mean, inevitably, Dan, you play to win, right? Tyler, you play to win. Mm-hmm. Matt does not play to win Heroclix.
No. I would agree that I play like Matt.
You're closest to Matt, yes.
I play to not lose.
Matt doesn't play to not lose either. Matt plays to roll off.
Which is not a thing.
He's good at that.
But you can't do that anymore.
Well, Tyler, did you roll? When's the last time you played Matt?
Well, that's what I'm saying. In Swiss, you can't do that anymore.
Yeah, you can't officially do that anymore.
Oh, that's the best part is that I'll make them sit there and do that for 50 minutes.
Yeah, and that's something that he will do, and most people will crack. So Matt will willpower you, and it's an incredible thing. He will play you in the most arbitrary way for 30 minutes, and then you'll come at him being like, okay, I'll come at you, and then he'll be like, shoot you, run away, and you're like, no.
Yeah.
You have to really understand the out strategy. Matt's the one who invented, the structural integrity field, where he's inside a room and his kid Flash runs out of the jail and hits something and runs back in and then never attacks again. And if you get close enough to the Flash, he rolls off.
That's I mean, all of it. He's been doing really well in the Modjeski circuit, and I feel like all of his teams are like that. He runs like full juggernaut and stuff like that.
Brilliant at that. He's the best. We always just try to give him one figure if we can, because he's the best one figure player I know. And I'm the exact opposite. So that's my least advantage. I'm a war of attrition guy. I'm good at like 7 figures of mine died, but somehow I beat you with my pog and a healer.
I like that.
Yeah. No, I mean, Matt's the only person in the world that is Matt and Friedman are the only 2 people in the world that can play full uni.
Yes. Yeah. Friedman. How do you guys play Friedman?
I mean, normally he just sticks his hand out and says, hey, good game, before it even starts.
Yeah, he does weird stuff. He makes weird choices that you wouldn't assume.
The only time I've ever played Friedman is when he was playing full uni, and I lost because he was playing full uni, and I did not have an answer to it. But
yeah,
it was a fun game.
I think I've played Adam 3 times, and I'm currently 2-1 versus Adam.
It's pretty good.
I don't have that kind of memory, but I played Adam quite a few times, and I feel like sometimes he will, if like I'm playing him in sealed and I have a better team, I feel like he will almost concede. But then other times, if I'm playing him and he has a better team, he will do some wacky stuff, and he will tell me the probability of that, and I'm like, okay. And sometimes that will beat him. I think recently he's beaten me more, though. He's not the person you play when you're cash.
No, not at all. So I think my only Heroclix tell that I've ever seen is whenever Tyler doubles down on 5-hour energies too quickly, and he starts to smell sounds.
That was a fun day.
And then you just kind of go
with your tokens.
Yeah, well, I'd also do the clacking with my tokens.
Yeah.
Typically, I do that whenever I want my opponent to hurry up, or I'm trying to not visit. I'm not trying to audibly express frustration.
I do that too.
Because it has a past history of me not being allowed to express emotion. So I express it through clacking tokens, and that whenever you're on 10 hours of energy, that can kind of get in your head.
10 hours of energy condensed into 3 hours.
Yeah.
Do you think tells matter in HeroClix?
I don't think tells matter. I don't think there is a tell. You just play the board. I think that you play players differently. So like, I'm a big proponent of matchups don't matter. You're playing the guy across the table. Like, top players aren't going to lose to a bad matchup against a bad player. Top players are going to lose to top players. The only person that I would say that I actually can sort of, like, I know them enough to where, like, I can tell, like, not what they're going to do, but how they're going to play is Dan, because we play so much.
Sure. Man, I'm jealous. I wish I played Dan so much. That would be amazing.
A lot of times when someone asked Dan what he would, like, when you asked Dan what he was going to do, I knew exactly what he was going to do, because he did it to me 15 times to kill the whale. So, like, that sort of thing.
Man, I hope ID cards are gone soon.
Dude, there's rumors that they could rotate.
I have it on. I have many strong rumors as well that they will rotate, or possibly just the Batman ones may stay, which is ludicrous but possible.
Yeah.
Which that's fine. If the Batman ones stay, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, there's not enough in Batman where you're like, no.
Yeah, because my girl Harley Quinn's gonna rotate.
Yeah, there'll be one Harley Quinn available.
So this weekend we have a plan to pull together what is most likely our post-rotation meta boxes as our fun Saturday activity. And I already pulled together all of the Jokers, Harleys, and Poison Ivies that are likely to be good enough to be called out. So I'm already prepping for that situation. Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, what a world. Imagine if they rotated all the IDs. Like, what, man? That would be insane. Yeah.
I would love that.
All right, well, let's roll on to our next question. Brian Poland asked a question. Are you going to start playing some more? But you play all the time, Scott, so I don't...
Yeah, I mean, Brian knows me a little bit better than most people, and honestly, like Pauper, I didn't play a single Pauper match. My life situation's changing a little bit, and that's allowing me to play HeroClix at a sizable amount more and kind of pursue that activity, and it's also not football season.
Yeah, that helps. How many fantasy things are you in every year?
8. 7's kind of my min. 8 is sometimes. I think I might have been in 7 this year, and I was in the Super Bowl in I think 5 of them.
Wow.
So I make a sizable I can pay for my HeroClix with fantasy football usually, if not more.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, I really, really do have an interest in doing the Vegas thing, and I might do that next year, going out to Vegas and starting to play with the pros. I will say, though, I've done some of the $500 and $1,000 buy-in leagues and gotten smoked. So, I don't know.
That's pretty cool, though. Yeah.
So, wow. Well, I'm glad to see you more visible.
Yeah, I would love to play you, Dan, where I'm like, hey, Dan, let me tell you how my team works, as opposed to you saying, Scott, do you know that character doesn't have sidestep? Or something like that. I would love to not be looking at my own cards being like, you're kidding me, he can do that?
Yeah.
I think you might have all of Jason down after like 2 months of playing him.
I don't think so, man. There's going to be something else. There's going to be something else. I just played and I forgot to roll the leadership. So there's so much with Jason. Jason is, I think, the closest to Super Scroll that we have had. Because
we've had Jakeem since Super Scroll.
Yeah, Super Scroll had more options though. Jason has what is nearly an infinite amount of options. At least it feels like there is 100 different things you can do with Jason, and you're like, this is the best option this time. Especially if he happens to have something like the Spectral Ring of the tank near him. I mean, isn't just running 8 up and attacking with Chaos a reasonable idea half the time?
Yeah, like it's so good. Like, or I played him with Tri-Sentinel, and you can just run up, call out the thing and barrier, and then shoot him with Tri-Sentinel. Like that's really good too.
Yeah, infinite possibilities in every team. I mean, I can't tell you how much I love being like TK Vulture up 8, run Jason up 8, make a Chaos back of the board out of nowhere, no effort. It was such line of fire precision when I was doing that with Double Astronomer, and now it's incredible. But I hope to play you one time, Dan, where I know how my team works in a similar way in which you know how your team works. I'll never probably get there because you will always have a live-in partner to play with, and I do not have that.
Well, I practice online a lot too.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that more.
And then we practice nearly every week at our local event. So even I do the funner foul thing.
Yeah.
And typically, even when we play larger events, larger pointed events, it's just us trying out meta pieces that we want to play with later.
Yeah. Everything I do is trying to play out meta. I think Quake might be meta. I just want to say that out loud. I think she is that good.
She is really good. I haven't considered her in meta, though.
She's sure as heck meta in Pauper. My God, she is good.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's tough though. Like you have to be like, there's so much nonsense right now that I'm like, Ultron's not good enough, so I can't say Quake is good enough. Quake and Ultron are definitely on the same level in my opinion.
Well, so this is always my advice with some of those things where it's, if you can afford to get an Ultron now, go ahead and get one, because come July, when the set's already out of print, if something changes and Ultron becomes the thing, well, you already have the thing. Now, in the situation where Quake's a 10-cent common, well, that's okay. Well, just go ahead and get her while everybody's cracking packs, and you can probably get one from your buddy for free instead of trying to locate one later when Quake becomes the thing.
That's good advice. I agree. Quake is oddly also not, in my opinion, from a guy who has opened, I guess, 3.5, 4 cases because of all the seals I've done. I would say that Quake is one of the least distributed figures. It is crazy how few Quakes there are.
I don't.
I've never pulled a Quake.
Really?
You've never pulled a Quake?
So let me say, I'm sorry, I've never pulled a Quake in sealed. I pulled a Quake when I just opened some bricks and stuff like that.
Still very impressive because you've opened like what, a whole case?
In sealed, I have pulled 2 Chase Thors and never pulled a Quake.
Wow.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
I had Quake on my one of my commons to take me to second place. She did work.
Yeah, she's really good in sealed for sure.
I think the thing most likely to go up is Jason, because every single set that comes out, we're going to be like, that makes Jason better.
Oh, look at that pog, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and so Jason's already up to like $100. I think he's flirting at 100.
Yeah, $99 the best offer is what I'm looking at right now. I'm actually debating if I need to own 3 Jasons. There is a world where I think he's that good.
So, and it's
And
one of
it
those
feels like you
things-
should play Gene if you're playing that many Jasons.
That's
but he's
right,
so
yeah.
good.
Yeah, that's going to be the sad thing is that my team, I'm not going to be able to justify myself to be able to play my 4 Gene team, just because I'm not going to spend the money to do it.
Yeah.
That's a reasonable decision for a man with a child.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things where I could, but I'm not going to, type thing. So, but.
Sad.
I think I traded my second Deadpool duck for a Jason straight up. If anybody would do that.
Dude, I sold mine for, I think I got 175 for him.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
I traded my Deadpool for one of my Deadpools for an Ultron. All right, so
I have a two Ultrons. I will trade somebody a Jason for an Ultron. Look at me using your podcast for a trading form.
There you go.
yeah, just post it on Facebook. They'll come for you.
They'll come for you.
They'll come.
So, Mr. Solomon, Kane Garcia, who else in here? And then I'm just going to go ahead and add in Spencer White's question. So, Jay Kane asked about Immortal Hulk. Spencer asked about me wanting to pick up an Ultra Chase Thanos. So the answer to that question is I will need a second Ultra Chase Thanos so me and Sam can both play him. I also need to pick up like a second Black Adam at this point. But Jay and Kane asked about Immortal Hulk. And Thanos is one of the things that can beat Immortal Hulk.
That's true. Well, he.
Why? What am I missing here?
He can outwit the stop click, so you still have to kill him 3 times, but it's not 9. It turns into 3 attacks instead of 9 attacks.
Correct. So, like, the team that we're kind of spitballing around is, like, Thanos Trader, and then not playing a gem on the board. So, it also depends on if bounty cards retire. So, if bounty cards stay, then you play Thanos Trader and something else. Then Thanos gets the power gem, range combat, or you perplex him down, outwit his defense, range combat expert killing him once, call out fast forces Wolverine, flurry him twice, and then Immortal Hulk's dead.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean that could be.
Wow.
Could be a thing.
Yeah. So that's a turn, what I call turn 0. If Hulk comes into range, he's dead. So because you can trade the gems, and Trader can start with any gem, so you just give Thanos the power gem or whatever you need for any other matchup.
Is Astronomer back out of tier 1 and Chase Thanos is back in? Is that kind of what's happening here?
I think Thanos is in tier 1. I've always liked Thanos, but he's definitely gotten better.
He is worse. He is not great against the Trader Astronomer matchup because Astronomer team with Gardeners is both getting map and not missing him much.
Well, that's the thing that we haven't seen a lot of teams that are still good. Gardner and Kobik Trader. But, you also haven't seen like Easton, playing any WKOs either. So, but like Kobik Trader and then the Gardeners, which is still good. I mean, they didn't errata Trader to make Gardner bad. So.
Yeah, Gardner's amazing. He's 50 points.
Yeah. With Pro.
Yeah. And nobody uses him. Like, I haven't seen one since Worlds, I don't think. Did any of them? I didn't even see any played in WKOs.
No, so I mean, I don't know. I think folks are trying new stuff currently. But as we round into Nats, Gardner is still really good. So like the the two teams in top 4, Dustin and Roberts, those teams are essentially good as is. They lose Unseen after rotation, but I mean they'll have Unseen for Nats most likely.
Right. Yeah.
Can I make one more crazy pitch on my team? What if I took out a Jason and a Surtur and put in Mortal Hulk, and I'm just playing the 3 best figures, and they don't have any synergy whatsoever?
2 of them has synergy.
They do, and that's
Yeah. Mortal Hulk's. Dan, how good do you think a Mortal Hulk is?
So it depends. I'm still undecided on him, right? So like I think for Tyler, like he just becomes an immediate autoplay. Like he's Tyler's type of piece.
Yeah, fair.
So because Tyler's attacking.
Mojo's so good.
Well, it's the same idea. Then play them both, Tyler.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
So here's the thing: is that your team makes a shit ton of attacks that could miss. Mm-hmm. Your team also takes a shit ton of attacks to kill, and then they're all big. So Hulk's like, I see you all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, like, we just play them both. They fit in right in with your team, and you can still play your seals.
Yeah. I have to practice before Nats. I got to do something.
Yeah.
I got to figure it out.
I like how you're acting like it's tomorrow. We have like 3 months.
Dude, if you're not practicing yet, you're behind, man.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah.
I'm definitely. You can mark my words. I'll be playing a Jason Wingard at Nationals.
Okay.
I don't care what comes out, but I will be playing a Jason Wingard. I'm practicing too hard with it, and I think the only reason you don't see him played a lot more is he's $100, and he breaks your brain playing him. I don't know if I ever had a character just be like, am I supposed to mind control your whole team? Attack you for free with this character? I don't know what to do. Should I be making a POG? Should I free TK somebody else and attack you? And then
yeah, he does so much. His one downside, and it's not like super, like he is squishy. That's the only downside. His shape change can save him sometimes. That's probably the best power for him that he would have at that point value.
Yeah.
But
unoutwittable shape change is weird. Like it's a power that you're like,
Yeah. Yeah, like you can't outwit him. Like why?
Yeah.
So I guess there will be a day where it matters, but not up until Nats. As long as I can say you need to pick stealth off of Cersei, I'll be fine.
I mean, there's tanks, there's demonics, there's ways around it.
Yeah, so if I'm playing unthemed Scott Cramton, he's playing a demonic ring. He is no longer playing that demonic ring because hopefully I win map.
That's true.
If you're playing Scott Crampton, you'll win map.
I'm just saying.
Even
if
theme is irrelevant.
Scott's had this argument where theme is irrelevant. So I would like to say, theme is relevant as long as the pieces always synergize together and they're not just there to be there. And in the case of Vulture, it helps him equip better, especially with the shield version.
But Vulture it's just Vulture. If you could play like 2 Vultures, I'd be like, play that team.
Oh my god.
But like, I don't think that Shield Vulture team is good enough to actually win a Nationals.
It's I agree to some extent, other than Pat would say that, I played Vulture.
Sorry, I'm not saying Vulture isn't good enough. I'm saying that theme, like just because you go first, I mean, Jason, I'm like, okay, I'll put out 8 squares of barrier.
But you say that, but as long as like it depends on the map. It all depends on the map that they put you on.
It does. There is a level of it depends on the map, and there is a level of like I have a Surtur and I can't protect him, so you get the free charge. But every way I think of how he does it, like I can't think of what map you can be put on where you can't barrier up like 3 or 4 pieces. And then
it all depends on your placement. So this is where like you need to start. This is where you're practicing now for Nats. So the map that they should put a Jason team on if they win is Genosha. So the 4x4 starting area that doesn't get expanded is tougher, a little bit tougher for barrier. In that the giant reach gets to your big pieces easily. It doesn't matter. So if there's any way that he can build up 2 charges, so a charge to bust a wall and then a charge to just come in there, and if you leave any hole, he can get into that hole and just attack from there.
Yeah, I'm looking at I think I'm looking at Genosha right now. Let's see, what is this? Nope, map on the reverse is Genosha. Dang it. I'm looking at Muir Island. Why aren't you showing me Genosha, you dumb jerk?
I forgot about Muir Island. That's a cool map.
Yeah, Muir Island's really good.
Okay, I have Genosha in front of me. So
I mean, like, if you're figuring it out right now, it's a good thing because you're not figuring it out in the middle of the tournament.
Right.
Yeah, I obviously putting. So let's see. If I have 3 characters, yeah, I can definitely protect a vulture, the 2 characters doing the barrier. Yeah, no, I could. I guess it gives them that 1 square. I'm trying to think of how to. I think it's doable. It feels like you can put both Jasons on the. Are they mirrors or no? This is uninteresting radio. I'm sorry. If you're in 3 and you go up to the top, yeah, I think
it's probably doable if you practice it, but it's probably not doable the day of. So just the thing is, look at it right now.
Right.
Yeah.
And given that our question at hand is still Immortal Hulk.
I'm sorry. I'm the worst.
It's okay. So Tyler had asked me, do I think there's a lot of ways around Immortal Hulk?
Is there?
Barrier is important, right? So like my uni team can outwit his charge and then barrier him in after I kill the rest of the team.
Yeah.
And then I just win. I just lock you out of the game.
Depending on the click number he's on, yeah.
Why? If you punch a wall,
because he's not outwittable on some of his clicks.
Yeah.
So the assumption is then he has 1 free charge. So he charges the wall, calls out 1 thing, and Dan's kind of hurt a little bit, and then Dan goes back to burying him in, and he can't do that charge thing again. So yeah, he'll beat him. I think that's yes. Immortal Hulk has a huge number of problems.
But he also has a huge number of upsides.
Yes, he does, and he's only 100 points. He is not your whole team, and it is really hard to figure out what to do with Immortal Hulk. And the answer 9 times out of 10 is ignore him, and that is an awful option.
Yeah.
Right, because he can still get activated, right? It all depends on.
The Force Blast ring, right? That can just knock him into a wall, and he can just be activating turn 1 if you want.
Or he just moves and then just pushes to call something out turn 2.
Yeah. It depends. Like I tend to side with. I really tried to make Mandarin a thing, and Mandarin's not a thing. It sucks. Put Mandarin in him. I'm like, I'll activate him turn 1 and throw him out there.
Yeah.
Whenever I played him, I just pulsated him with the storm that I called in. That's all I ever did.
It's fair. It's a great idea.
Yeah, so I mean, he's really good, but there's ways around him, right? So the over-under that you play right now is the ways around him going to build up enough before Nats? And so I'd say it's a double line graph. How many ways around him? How good Tyler gets with Immortal Hulk? Which line rises faster?
Okay.
And I know which line I would place my money on.
He's so good.
I have. Usually, what I'm thinking about with Immortal Hulk is, am I capable of killing everything else and then surviving in the meantime 2 call-ins while that's happening. And I don't know.
That's kind of what you have to do.
I'm terrified of your team, Tyler. That's why Vulture is on my team, because I think it's either that or Can't Die. Those are the only 2 options I can think of against your monster team with Immortal Hulk.
Vulture would be why Immortal Hulk is on my team, so
yeah, but if it's just my team versus Immortal Hulk, and say your Immortal Hulk kills like a Jason or something like that,
Yeah.
But I can get around. You don't have any retaliators,
I'd sell some whales.
Yeah,
the whales.
I think you would. Yeah, I think you would probably have a whale and a mojo, or I don't know. I'm trying. I don't have it played out in my head, to be honest, but
you better.
Yeah, I'll love. I'll play you. Man.
Yeah.
Yes.
I need to start practicing.
Yes, you do.
I'm behind.
And pack more than one map.
Man, they just keep giving monsters stuff. Like, they just keep doing it, man, over and over. Monster. I don't think that there's much of a difference between Monster Ruler and Cosmic and Mystical right now. I don't think there's a clear number 1 generic theme anymore.
No, I don't think there is either, but I think it's Monster.
Oh, okay. It's close. Monster doesn't have the best support still. Is the only thing holding it back. It doesn't have like your Alex Wilder or something, but it just has really good pieces over and over again.
Well, that, and if Mystical beats Monster on map and takes it to Ancient Hold, then it kills all of its retail, and there's nothing you can do about it.
That is sad.
That is most likely true as well.
I mean, if they
how does that work, Dan? Just walk that through.
So they move halfway up the map, and just they're safe behind a wall. More specifically, they're 1 square outside of a whale sidestep, move 6, break all the walls, giant reach 3. So 8 and 11, so they're 13 squares from their side of the starting area. And then they walk the rest of the way, blow up all the blocking within 3. Because they Tri-Sentinels fly, so they're not worried about whales stopping them. The only thing they would be worried about is Carnage's plasticity.
Yeah.
So they walk up, sidestep, walk up 9, activate retail, and blow up all the squares of blocking. And then all of the retail in the back row dies because there's no way to not touch blocking on that map.
Right.
With the monsters team.
It's good.
No, it's not. It's bad, Scott. I don't like that.
Yeah, it's not.
Tyler, your team is over. Dan, just solve your team. You're done.
No, it's. I mean, they
might go to a 4-Minotaur team with 2 Darios and just go with that.
Well, it depends. It doesn't make it bad. It's just a potential matchup to think about. Yeah. So with Immortal Hulk, he might have a play to get him out there and maybe call it Iceman. It all depends on placement. But if Tyler's playing a little bit more hardy version of the team, say with Whale, Mortal Hulk, and Mojo, then it likely survived the mystical retail exploit. And then it calls out Iceman and then just probably wins from there.
Iceman is good. Mortal Hulk is good. Yeah.
Accurate.
he just is.
I like Heroclix. I say words.
Yes.
All 3 of those statements are accurate.
I think that's pretty much what every podcast is.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So Jay asked which theme is better, and I don't know if I have. I think we've proven that all 3 types could be good enough.
Yeah, I really don't think that there's just those 4 are all real good.
Agreed.
Because even like even like Magneto, like I think the Cap version. I like the Cap version with Hulk.
Oh, Nate's team?
No, not Nate's team.
Cap version. What are you talking about?
Burn to Nate. Burn to Nate, right there. Subtle burn, Nate.
Yeah, Nate, congratulations for winning our WKO. I don't have a fantastic opinion of your team, but whatever.
Really?
I never
Me
do.
either, man. I really don't either.
I've heard this from other people too. I like
Nate's
that
a great
team.
player. I hate
Yeah.
that team.
You hate it?
I mean,
I'm moving to hating it.
I hate it. I don't hate it, but I don't think it's good.
You're playing Steve Rogers so that you can force get a +4 theme team. It's so insane.
But you get probs.
Imagine if you imagine playing, when does it become insane to you? I played Steve Rogers and now I have a +3.
It's never insane to get theme team because that's probs.
So it's one of those things where Nate was probably the best player at the WKO that day.
Nate is often the best player at WKO that day.
Because Tyler was playing Hellfire Club and shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
How did you do with Hellfire? You had
let's not talk about this again.
Okay, whatever.
So we're not. So
I did not do good.
The Undying version I like is the one with Gauntlet Captain America.
Really?
Yeah. So that Peggy comes out at her full 50. I mean, Gauntlet Cap's not bad.
You're going to you have to take a lot of turns. Wendigos kind of stop that strategy a little bit more, but yeah.
But
Wendigos make me nervous about Can't Die. That's really what comes
Captain
out.
America. So as long as you have something that can call out Iceman, because if they're if their Wendigos are taking you to Ancient Hold, then they have a really hard time being able to Wendigo you.
Yeah, charge them.
Stop making sense with Heroclix, Dan.
Versus
you're making me feel dumb.
Versus if they're able to Wendigo you, you are likely going to be able to get your Iceman off first.
Before they kill him, yeah, probably.
Before they kill Captain America. Because he does have imperv, he does have 19 defense.
He can free barrier.
He can free barrier, but he can also, if you start him with the other Gauntlet, you can also take a risk and maybe even pick like a defensive power, like super senses or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Who was sitting around and was like, you know what we should do? Make these Colossals better. They should be able to heal beyond their starting areas.
And be 15 points.
I one thing that's really bad is Dark Phoenix versus Jason. He healed +8 against me.
He killed all your pogs.
He killed every pog.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always fun. That's why I like her. Man. Yeah, that's cool.
It's a thing.
It is a thing.
So I think our answer to those guys' questions is Immortal Hulk's only 1/3 of your team. Play all of them. Play all the Immortal Hulk. Just be aware that he can be played around.
But not by much, man. Yeah, he's good. Quick side note. Yesterday, I did something I never thought I would do. I TK'd attack somebody to move them so I could place them next to my own 25-point Phoenix to poison them. I've never thought of doing that, and I came up, and I'm like, oh my god, I just healed my Phoenix. That's fantastic.
Phoenix doesn't heal that away.
Yeah, Phoenix can't heal past her stop click.
Yeah.
What? I thought she could heal with poison.
Nope.
No, everybody assumes that she could, but she can't. It says she heals when she poisons, but it doesn't say she can heal past her starting line.
Right.
Oh, well, good to know I cheated. Sorry, Max.
A lot of people did. A lot of people thought that when she came out.
Yeah, the uncommon ones can't heal past their starting lines. The rare ones can.
It's a good memory for that. Sorry, Max. I don't know if that mattered, but...
Yeah.
It was still a cool play. Good job.
I was so proud.
Yeah. Let's see. So, let's round out a couple of questions. Steven Swooner wonders if Possessor is a good hard counter to Immortal Hulk. And I would say that Possessor is still not so great in other matchups, so probably not.
I mean, yeah, you could just play
90 for 95 points. You get to outwit that. I mean,
you could play Ultra Chase Thanos.
I would if the silver bullet to your team is 5 points less than the better figure that could be needing a silver bullet, you should play the better figure. I'd just say Immortal Hulk is a good counter to Immortal Hulk.
Yeah.
Right.
And he is. That is true.
That's true.
PJ Bolin just wants to know if you're on here just to learn from a better host.
Yes, I am.
Well, I appreciate that.
Confirmed.
Hey, no problem. I'm learning a lot from Tyler.
Yep, exactly.
Uh,
All right, so let's. We got three more questions. So Nathan Deal wants to know what meta team should he pick up and play without tons of practice for his local ROC States.
I think like Lockjaw and Unimine, really a no practice team there.
Would not recommend that for a no practice team. That's a
full
it's a good way.
or full Unimind is still really good. Like it's still really good.
Full Unimine, I would say like Immortal Hulk, Daredevil, Magneto, Sabretooth kind of thing, something in that realm.
I think Nate's team is really good to pick up and play. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, Nate's team's really straightforward to play.
Chase Thanos, Black Adam. It takes a lot of practice, and Denny's a very good player, very, very good. But it is two figures.
It is two figures.
But yeah, you need like the Danger Room guys with Immortal Hulk and a Daredevil is pretty cheap team to get into.
That's true too.
And it's pretty dang good. It's the thing is like if you don't have a lot of practice or you're coming back into competitive at States, what you want to think about is teams that are forgiving with placement mistakes.
Right. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I'm just gonna say I like Nate's team for that. I think it's a really good new player team.
Yeah. Let's see. We answered Jeff's question at the beginning of the show. McConnell Lamar, do we think Industrial Spy and Maria Hill will see competitive play?
Pauper Industrial Spy, yes.
Really?
I've seen it played now 4 times out of like 4 games. So we'll see some play. I don't think he's that good, but people like him.
Yeah, Pauper, he's good.
I would have said no to Industrial Spy. People will probably try Maria Hill. She has a unique thing that's kind of cool. That just shuts somebody down.
Yeah, Maria. The combo is Maria Hill, Moonstone with the optional trait, and Kobik.
That is pretty cool.
How does that combo work?
So Moonstone. So let me just pull up the 2 things here. So it's more of the combination of Moonstone and Maria Hill together. Moonstone can target friendly for 50 points, 45 plus 5, can target friendly characters of 100 points or less with the Thunderbolts keyword that aren't named Baron Zemo with Mind Control. She's got a 10 attack, but you can play a bunch of other perplexes to go with her. And I think they're actually inducting her into the Shield Academy on this team, so you're playing the Shield Perplex guys. And Maria Hill has Mind Control once per turn. When a friendly character uses Mind Control to target a character that hasn't been damaged this turn, after resolutions, that target character can't make attacks or be attacked until your next turn. So you're making Kobik an unattackable
character.
Figure.
Yeah, battery, right? So the Shield Diplomat gets... so you start out with a 10 and an 8, and then Shield Diplomat defends her down to an 18, and then you perplex down her defense, so she can't be attacked.
How does she attack? How does... So Kobik's a Thunderbolt?
Kobik is a Thunderbolt.
Kobik has crazy keywords.
She does.
So what about Maria Hill with what about the 3... So let's go post-rotation, pretend ID cards aren't a thing anymore. Mm-hmm. Isn't there an argument to be made that 2 or 3 Maria Hills are deadly? Let's just... I'll build a stupid team and say Maria Hill, and Onslaught, and he free mind controls 2 of the characters, can't attack him.
Free mind controls 3 characters.
Yeah, you can, but 2 of them. So once per turn, a friendly character uses mind control target character that has been damaged. After resolution, that target character can't make attacks. So, like, basically 2 of those characters, because you have 2 Maria Hills that he targets, can't do anything. And they can't call an ID card because they don't exist.
Yeah, I mean, that could be. I like that we can do stuff like that now.
Yeah.
Maybe, possibly, if they rotate.
I don't know if I like that we can do stuff like that now. Because that might be like, oh, you're playing a 3-figure team? Well, I guess you'll never win.
Well, I mean, but there's been pieces they put out that, like, shut people down or, like, decrease their stats by, like, so much. And they've just been useless because you can just call stuff in.
Right. So what you have to remember is that, like, even in this particular part of the game, is Kobik not being able to be attacked is a big deal.
Yeah,
because you're not calling out Cyclops and shooting her for 6.
Or beasting or something.
Right, quaking her off elevation or whatever.
Yeah, I like Maria Hill with Red Skull. Red Skull's cool.
What's Red Skull doing here?
The chase Red Skull, he can roll leadership, and if he succeeds, he gets the mind control. He gets to remove a token from an enemy, and then he can mind control them regardless of range or line of fire.
So you'd almost have to kind of double down on that and do do Wesley Crusher at 25 points to maybe be able to re-roll your leadership, I guess.
Yeah, or the new map bonus from Fantastic Four. It makes you succeed automatically.
Yeah, neat.
It is neat. Thank you, Scott.
If Tyler's going to play Red Skull one day, it's going to happen.
One day.
So, let's see. So there's a couple of questions for you, Scott.
Sorry.
Joe, that's fine. Joe G. Gutierrez asked, I don't know about baseball, so which members of the initial Heroclix Hall of Fame class correspond to which member of the original Hall of Fame class of baseball? Babe Ruth, Ty Cobb, Walter Johnson, Christy Matheson, and Honus Wagner.
Honus Wagner.
Okay. I don't know baseball.
One of those person.
Yeah.
All right, so there's only 3 people. I think Daniel that I can mention, and then I know the other 2, but I can't do it yet. I've made a promise.
Coward.
I am a coward. All right, fine. Congratulations, Dan and Tyler.
Woo!
Welcome to the Heroclix Hall of Fame. You are both Honus Wagner.
Is that a bad thing?
So
it's a bad thing.
I would probably say of the people inducted right now, I'd probably say that George is Ty Cobb, because Ty Cobb was the real deal player, and just like clearly the best player. Honus Wagner, let's put that as Daniel Jones, because I'm frankly don't know who Christy Mathers and Walter Johnson is, and I think I'd probably be the Babe Ruth, who's pretty much famous for being kind of fat and calling a few shots that he's occasionally hit.
I like that. I wish I knew what any of that meant.
Yeah.
Babe Ruth's fat.
Well, I knew that part. It's a candy bar.
Yeah, he's a candy bar. So John Eric Hafford says, when can we expect a roast of Scott Cramton now that he has been inducted, bring Kevin Afruz out of retirement?
So I will announce this. Hypothetically, Kevin Afruz is going to be on our 100th episode, which is coming up in maybe a month or something like that.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, George has also agreed. I don't know how I'm going to pull that together, and I'm going to either have to call Kevin and have his butler bring him through, or call Kevin and see if I can see if he gets cell phone service. Yeah, see if we can get a payphone on his cold, mean streets of San Francisco.
I mean, Scott gets roasted every show he does, so
I get roasted. I mean, that's fair. I don't know if you've ever listened, Dan, but I think that's pretty accurate.
I do.
I'm getting mildly roasted on your show.
Did you post the one where you reviewed my team yet?
So I'm going to try to race you and edit that, but I have a wedding tomorrow, so I'm not sure when this episode's going up, but likely it will be up on Sunday.
I'm going to do mine probably first thing in the morning.
Once again, you beat me, Dan. It'll be close. It depends on when people listen to stuff.
I've never beaten you, Scott. I've only played you once.
Really? See, I don't remember stuff like that. I remember being scared to play you. And I remember that I probably shouldn't have beaten you, which is often true. I think the most embarrassing was PJ because he had played his team forever at the ROC. I was literally walking through and reading my own cards, and I beat him.
Was that this last ROC?
Yes. I think it might. No, not the last ROC. I was not at
it was 2018.
ROC.
You're right.
2018 ROC.
Yeah.
That was top 2 most unprepared I've ever been in my life.
Wait a minute, was this the one? Did you go to the one? Was that the one at Lucky Dice or the one in Atlanta?
The one that you won in 2018.
Yeah, that was the one you won in 2018.
Oh, so you beat the Starro team then? Because that's what PJ was playing.
I guess I did. I don't remember, but I did beat him.
Yeah.
I do remember embarrassingly losing to Lane on a map I had literally never seen with my eyes. It was
Was it the park?
Yeah, and I almost won too. It was crazy. I pulled off this crazy thing that he's like, "Yup, I guess that is possible." I remember him saying that, and he's like, "Okay." And then I needed a 7. I had one chance at it. He had no chances, and I just missed, and that was for the game. And I surprised him, but then I just got annihilated out of my shorts after that. I did surprise him, and that meant something to me because Lane was so much more prepared. Is he still playing?
No. So Lane and Mike are currently on hiatus.
It's so sad.
Oh, no kidding.
I'm pretty sure Lane's saving our country from the coronavirus somewhere, by actually shooting it with a gun.
He's doing his damnedest.
Yeah, by what I mean is that I have absolutely no idea what Lane does in the military, but I think he's doing that right now.
Okay. I
Yes.
heard he was the person that had to remove viruses that people got on their computer because of pornography. That's what I heard. That's what he told me. So he's the IT guy for the military.
Yeah, I think he shoots it with a gun, though.
He shoots it with a gun. That's correct. Shoots it with a gun.
So Scott Cramton has this question for Scott. Most people say that you're as smart as you are handsome, but are you actually as handsome as you are smart?
Well, that is a great question, Scott Crampton. The answer is really it's a paradox, and it can never be truly decided. There will be hundreds of people that believe one or the other, but it will have to be left for a mystery. Only God can know, really.
The funny thing is, the statement doesn't actually say that you're handsome or smart.
That's correct. I was hoping somebody wouldn't notice that. When Dan read it out loud, I'm like, oh, shoot, this is actually a compliment.
Yeah.
I'm accidentally burning myself. But it's hard to tell if I'm as smart as I am handsome. Probably. And that's sad. I've lost about 30 pounds, so I'm trying to out handsome my smart right now.
Yeah. That's good. Do you feel better?
Yeah, man. I went on keto, and that was actually I want to do a fast shout out to I forget his last name. But somebody at Heroclix is actually the person that's been helping me with that, and I am a dick and blanking. Oh my God, I'm the worst.
That works at Heroclix?
No. He lost a ton of weight, and then he helped me. I'm like, what did you do, man? And he's like, I did keto, and I tried everything, but apparently carbs have been what's killing me.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about keto.
Yeah, John Burgess. Thank you, John. He answered about 150 questions of mine. He's a great Heroclix player, and I thought he was amazing, so thank you, John. And I apologize for likely butchering your name.
Nope, that's John. John's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's great. He lost a ton of weight. He's been on it for a year, but I always thought it was something else. I quit sugar. I worked out every day. Never lost any weight. Quit carbs or cut down on carbs. Lost a ton of weight.
Mm-hmm. It's a thing.
Yeah, somebody at my work lost 80 pounds so far doing it.
Yeah. It's not that bad. I've recently made something where bacon was my bread.
That sounds awesome.
I know. No, I had them melt like I have at Heroclix. There's a restaurant that attaches to it that's also part of the thing at the Gamers Wharf, and they'll make me a salad, and then I ask them to make me a pizza on the salad. So they'll melt pepperoni and cheese and put it on the salad.
God damn, this sounds like a diet.
It is. You just cut bread, crackers, cereal, and then sugar.
Yep.
I mean, sugar's a lot of carbs, but it's not that bad. And
And
I'm glad
you're,
we could do this dieting show, Daniel. I'm glad you invited me on your dieting podcast, and I can help out with
No,
this.
I followed something similar. Weight Watchers is pretty close to that, so
It is. Weight Watchers is great.
you're no longer allowed to trust your farts.
It's good to know.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's real.
It is very real.
Yeah.
All
Never
right.
trust.
So on that bombshell, let's wrap up the show today with some final thoughts. So what's your final thoughts today, Scott?
My final thoughts is I have no idea how to beat you. I was trying to think of that.
This whole show he's been trying to think of how to beat you.
Well, no, I'm like, yeah, I'll just surter you. And I'm like, no, you'll never let that happen. And then I got depressed, and I'm like, is surter just for idiots? Maybe you're right.
God, I
Is
hope
there
he's
a
not.
retaliator's just for idiots? And I'm like, I don't know. Do you ever get a retaliator off, Tyler? Does that ever happen?
Yeah, every once in a while.
I hate that
Yeah.
that's the answer.
But that's because he also plays like 28 of them.
Right.
So unless you kill all of the retaliators on turn 2, you're getting retaliated on. Yeah. Or you just, hope Tyler rolls terrible and you just mind control his whole team to kill itself.
Yeah. That
Also
happens.
an option.
People
Except when he plays Immortal Hulk.
people crit miss a lot when they mind control my stuff, and it really pisses me off. That's like my number
Yeah.
one trigger whenever that happens.
It's a
Yeah,
good
I
one.
do like that. I love that.
What's your final thoughts, Tyler?
Start practicing for Nats, because if you haven't yet, you're behind. You gotta there's so many scenarios that you just, it's not even like a ton, but just like sitting down for 10 minutes and being like, if someone plays this map or this team against me, what am I gonna do to open up? That way you don't have to think about it as it happens, and then you're all flustered and you mess up your first turn, which is the most important turn. So just look at the popular things, just go over it for like 10 minutes, what you're gonna do with it, just to have at least thought about it.
Every day.
You could do it every day for the biggest effect. I would say you don't have to.
Yeah, 10 minutes every day.
Oh, okay, 10 minutes every day. That's a good.
Devote 10 minutes every day to something you have not looked at in Heroclix yet.
Yeah, that's a good tip. I mean, yes, that's what I meant.
Of course. So, well, thanks everybody for listening to Clicked Off today. Thanks for being on today, Scott. Glad to have you.
Thanks for having me. This is fun.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Well, thanks everybody for listening, and we'll talk to y'all next time.
See ya.
Bye.